Oliver Loving will be shot dead if he doesn't stay alert. He's been holed up here at the Pecos River for 3 days, surrounded by Comanche Indians. His friend, Bill Wilson, has gone for help. Loving has had no food and little water. He's delirious with pain and fever. His fight to live will create the rugged image that's come to define the real cowboy.
Loving is a guy who, first of all, defies all the odds. Quite frankly, he shouldn't have survived 1 day after he ran into the Comanches. He shouldn't have made it. He does. How does he do it? He does it by sheer grit. He wasn't going to die here. He made up his mind not to die here. He made up his mind to do everything that it took to live.
Veteran cowboys like Oliver Loving have good survival skills. He knows he has to keep his wounds clean.
The first rule of thumb, stop the bleeding. The fact is, in the wrist area, it probably coagulated on its own pretty quickly. The second thing is, let's try and protect it from bugs, vermin, and dirt. They understood that dirt in a wound was not good. So we want to put some type of a bandage on it. This is where these guys are at a tremendous disadvantage. Everything they have is filthy. As you can see, just by looking around this area, everything is dusty. That dust, unfortunately, has years and years and years of wild animal fecal matter that, because it's very arid, has never fully decomposed. Infection is going to set in very quickly, and there's nothing these guys can do to stop it. Maggots probably infested that wound. Now, as we know today, most maggots excrete juices, if you will, for lack of a better scientific term, that are antibiotic in nature, and they clean the wound of dead tissue, and they prevent infection from setting in. However, most people who are not trained doctors are going to try and get those maggots out.
Loving knows he's doomed. If he doesn't escape, this hideout on the Pecos River will be his gravesite. 40 miles away, one-armed Bill Wilson is also close to death from dehydration and exhaustion. After 2 days without water, the body begins to shut down. Wilson has been walking for 3 days, barefoot, across the sun-scorched desert, with nothing on but his long johns and cowboy hat. He abandoned his clothes and rifle at the river.
As he heads into the desert, those long johns are going to give him the protection he needs from the sun, but still keep his weight fairly light. The hat probably saved his life. As he heads off into the desert, not really knowing exactly where to go, that hat is the one thing that's identifiable in the distance.
The cowboy hat became invaluable. Every detail serves a purpose. The deep crown and wide brim can fan a fire, whip a horse into action, scoop water from a river, and signal the distant riders. At first, cowboys wear any hat they own, from derbies to Civil War caps. But in 1865, the Stetson is invented, and the cowboy hat becomes not only an icon, but often a lifesaver. For Wilson, 3 days after he leaves Oliver Loving, it's his hat that catches the eye of cowboy Bo Zickard, who's riding with Charles Goodnight.
Get a horse and hurry. Wilson. Hey, it's me.
Wilson is delirious, but just lucid enough to relay Loving's plight and their fight with the Comanche.
Down by the river.
Goodnight takes off immediately. With 40 miles to cover, the question is, will he reach Loving before it's too late? The following afternoon, Goodnight arrives at the site Wilson described. He approaches slowly, in case the Comanche are still around. But it seems they're gone. And so is Oliver Loving. Goodnight scans the rocks for evidence of a battle. Finally, he spots a telling sign up by the cliff face. Goodnight assumes the worst.
It must have been a horrible blow to Goodnight to realize that his friend was dead. He must have felt guilty about it.
But Goodnight knows what Loving would want him to do. He heads back to the cattle drive to push his team the 140 miles remaining to Fort Sumner. What Goodnight doesn't know is that Loving is alive and has achieved the impossible. Somehow, Loving managed to sneak away from the Comanche and swim upriver. He was found by Mexicans who took him to the doctor at Fort Sumner. But now, his wounds are even more infected. The Pecos River is polluted with animal and human waste. The doctor sees little hope. Gangrene has set in. Gangrene is the death of soft tissue, when the blood supply to a part of the body is cut off. When the gunshot wound in Loving's wrist became infected and swollen, it cut off blood flow, which kept life-saving white blood cells from reaching the area to fight infection. Now, the tissue is dying, and the infection will soon spread to Loving's vital organs. Unless gangrene is treated quickly, it can lead to death. Gangrene is common with cowboys because they often get cuts and burns that go untreated. By all accounts, there is no hope for Oliver Loving. His body is racked with infection and fighting a losing battle. But never underestimate a cowboy.
Coldwell?
Yes, banker?
I beefed up security now that we have the J.D. Power and Associates Award.
The locked doors probably, sir.
Too much?
Coldwell Banker, ranked highest in customer satisfaction.
Once there was a sad stretch of road where drivers just couldn't stop in time. But along came the Michelin Man, who reminded them the right tire changes everything. With better tires in place, that sad stretch of road wasn't so sad anymore. Michelin Hydro Edge tires stop up to 14 feet shorter. Michelin, a better way forward.
What's that? My contact lenses from 1-800-CONTACTS. Delivered overnight. You should practice not waiting till the last minute. I practice convenience and ease, brother. You are not my real brother!
Fast and at a great price. We're that passionate about eyes. Call, click, and now at Walmart.
At Best Western, stay now and save later. Stay twice before May 30th and get a $50 Best Western gift card. Use it this summer at over 4,000 locations. AAA members get even more. Book now at bestwestern.com.
While I was building my friendships, my family, while I was building my life, my high cholesterol was contributing to plaque buildup in my arteries. That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor. She said plaque buildup in arteries is a real reason to lower cholesterol. And that, along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol. It raises good. Crestor is also proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing pregnant or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you are taking or if you have muscle pain or weakness. That could be a sign of serious side effects. While you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Ask your doctor if Crestor can help and go to Crestor.com to get a free trial offer.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
One size fits all makeup? No way. CoverGirl has lightweight coverage just for your skin type. The new look of clean for normal skin, oil control, and new clean for sensitive skin. So take off that mask and slip into lightweight coverage that really fits. It's makeup that works for you
and you.
And you. Because it's made for you. Clean makeup in normal, oil control, and new sensitive. From easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl.
You know what's amazing? the new Olympus pen. What makes it so amazing isn't the fact that it's as powerful as a professional digital camera and as simple as a point and shoot, or that it has interchangeable lenses and art filters that make it easy to get creative. The most amazing thing about the new Olympus pen is that this commercial shot with one.
And cut.
Pro quality, point and shoot simplicity, HD video, all in one. The Olympus pen. Look what you can do.
The master suite has a completely updated master bath.
It's got a screened-in back porch and a large backyard.
It's the perfect home, in excellent condition and ready to move in.
Anytime, anywhere, no one connects you with the home of your dreams like Coldwell Banker. We never stop moving.
They guard your valuables and protect your safety. So what new high-tech gadgets are keeping us secure today? Find out on an all-new episode of Modern Marvels. Keep Out, Thursday at 9 on History, made every day.
Goodnight continues his journey to Fort Sumner to secure the beef contract. But the loss of his friend weighs heavily on his mind. It isn't until he's within 30 miles of the fort that a passing traveler tells him that his partner, Oliver Loving, is still alive. By the time Goodnight reaches Loving, most men would have died. 2 weeks have passed since Loving was wounded. His forearm is infected and gangrenous. The doctor has been hesitating to operate, thinking that death is close at hand. But Goodnight is convinced his friend can survive surgery. He knows from his days as a Texas Ranger that an amputation is less risky than it sounds.
One of the most common myths of 19th century medicine is the idea